As careful and consistent as we try to be, sometimes our sleep schedule will get off track. We might have an after-work event or go to an evening sporting event. We might hang out with friends or just have trouble sleeping one night. All of these can disrupt our regular bedtime. And when we miss our bedtime, even as adults, this can be a huge disruption. Aside from fatigue, we may experience increased irritability and decreased motor skills and concentration. Even potentially worse is when we try to remedy our fatigue with poor choices, and these remedies may unknowingly further disrupt our sleep cycle. So today I'm going over some simple tips for how to get our sleep schedule back on track. Hey everyone, my name is Matthew and welcome to Calm Insomniac, where we're a community of people trying to get a better night's sleep. If you enjoy learning about sleep health, sleep tips, and relaxing classical music, then please subscribe with notifications on. And if you enjoy this video, please give it a like as it greatly helps out the channel. I decided to do this video because it's natural for our sleep schedules to be disrupted, and sometimes it can happen frequently. And I personally noticed that my sleep schedule was disrupted this Labor Day weekend. So I figured that these would be good tips to share, and while nothing is going to be truly groundbreaking, these are good reminders and things to just keep in mind whenever your sleep schedule does get disrupted. So let's get right into this with our first tip, which is don't stress. One of the most difficult parts of a disrupted sleep schedule is the added stress. Stress from missing your bedtime or taking too long to fall asleep, or stress from fatigue the next day. And even worse is when we create additional stress from our worry about our future ability to sleep. This stress and worry is normal. And as counterintuitive as it is, we can't stress. As we've mentioned many times before, stress is a huge reason why we can't fall asleep quickly or achieve quality sleep. Do your best to stay calm. Tell yourself that your disrupted sleep schedule is only temporary, and don't let a poor night's sleep consume your thoughts and emotions. The best thing you can do is take deep breaths. Taking deep breaths will slow your mind and lower your heart rate. And as soon as you get into bed the next night after missing your bedtime, immediately take deep breaths. Even if this doesn't get your sleep schedule back on track immediately, not stressing will help you return to normalcy sooner. Our next tip is to stick to your schedule. When our sleep schedule gets off track, it's tempting to temporarily adjust our sleep schedule. Typically, we sleep in the next morning, or we wait until the weekend and sleep in a lot more than normal. And sometimes after we miss our bedtime, we aren't tired the next day at our usual bedtime, so we stay up later. And as you can imagine, temporarily adjusting our sleep schedule can create permanent problems. When it takes me a long time to fall asleep, I have to admit that I'm tempted to sleep in and make up for lost sleep. But in my experience, this is always a bad idea. Sleeping in temporarily feels good, but soon after we begin feeling groggy and sometimes even more tired than we were before. Sleeping in can also make it more difficult to fall asleep the next night. And this mini shift to our sleep cycle can have lasting effects. And this also applies to going to sleep earlier than normal. Instead, force yourself to wake up and go to bed at your normal time. As tired as you might be, it's better to stick to your schedule. Our bodies are quick to adapt, and changes to our schedule will make it harder to return to normal. And even if you aren't tired at your normal bedtime, still force yourself to get into bed. You might be surprised how quickly you do fall asleep. Our next tip is to avoid extra caffeine. This is another topic we've discussed many times before, but we really should avoid caffeine. And if you want to learn more about how caffeine affects our body and sleep, then check out this video right over here. Now, I realize that most people aren't like me and can wake up without caffeine in the morning. So instead, I'll say don't consume extra caffeine. So if you don't normally drink coffee in the morning, don't drink coffee after a poor night's sleep. And if you do normally drink coffee in the morning, don't have 3 cups when you normally have 2. Similar to keeping our regular sleep schedule on track, we need to keep our caffeine schedule on track too, and this is important. If we drink more caffeine than we're used to, our body will respond, likely in a negative way. Caffeine is a stimulant, and while you may experience short-term benefits, it's the long-term side effects that can really hurt us. Drinking more coffee in the morning can make us jittery, or drinking coffee later in the day than normal can interfere with that night's sleep. And remember that more things have caffeine in them than you might realize, so be careful about ordering a soda at lunch or having dark chocolate for dessert after dinner. All of these can potentially interfere with that night's sleep. Our next tip is to drink water. After a night or several nights of our sleep schedule being off track, drinking lots of water is very important. I've found that when I'm extra tired, I become dehydrated much easier, and when we're dehydrated, it's a lot harder to achieve quality sleep. Drinking lots of water will also help push toxins out of our body. Now, this isn't to say that there are toxins in our body that are preventing us from getting a good night's sleep, but when our body is clean, we'll have a better chance of feeling better at night and then being able to fall asleep. I personally would recommend drinking a lot more water than usual when your sleep schedule is disrupted. However, be careful. Be sure to stop drinking more water than usual at least several hours before your bedtime. This too can keep you up at night if you are constantly having to use the bathroom. And our final tip is to control our light exposure. When our sleep cycle is interrupted, it's crucial we maintain our circadian rhythm, and the best way to do this is to control our exposure to light. Our circadian rhythm is controlled by the light-dark cycle of the world around us, and we can maintain our circadian rhythm by controlling our exposure to light at the right times. During the day, be sure to be in well-lit rooms, or even better, go outside and enjoy the sun for a while. But as it gets closer to our bedtime, we need to start limiting our exposure to light. Slowly turn off and dim the lights in your environment. Make sure to close your curtains or cover your windows. And if your lights are set to a dimmer switch, then slowly dim your lights more and more the closer it is to your bedtime. And limiting your exposure to light includes electronics too. Try limiting the use of your phone and TV at night, and stop using them altogether at least 1 hour before bed. Hopefully, by limiting our exposure to light, we can jumpstart our circadian rhythm, and this process will allow our body to release melatonin, and hopefully this will allow us to fall asleep quicker. Alright, those are some simple tips for getting your sleep schedule back on track. Like I said, these tips aren't groundbreaking, but they're simple and effective. And you probably noticed that they're the same tips for getting a good night's sleep, regardless if your sleep cycle is disrupted or not. The key is maintaining normalcy and staying calm, and if you can do that, your sleep schedule will return to normal very soon. Let me know in the comments below, what works for you when your sleep schedule becomes disrupted? Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Pinterest, check out my website, and join my email list. All of those links are down below. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn some more sleep tips, then definitely check out this playlist right over here. And if you want to learn some simple adjustments you can make to your phone settings to make it a little more sleep-friendly, then check out this video down over here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.